Hello everyone, and welcome back to 4KB Shorts Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program. I just want to let everybody know that the space station has been completely fueled up. It absolutely has been completely fueled up, and I don't remember off the top of my head if I showed this to you guys before. I think I may have, but I'm going to show it to you again just in case. This is the ship that did all the refueling. Yeah, you see all those big orange fuel tanks and you're like, ah, look at all that waste. Yeah, so this is the ship that did the refueling, and as a matter of fact, it was actually so effective that I could get this whole tank in, and this whole tank in, and even a little bit of this tank all up there. So I was actually really super effective ship. I didn't put anything on there for landing, because each time I just fueled the ship, I just, or fueled the station, I would just end the flight. So I didn't do a return, because there really was no reason to do a return each time. I did one the first time as sort of a fun thing, but then I took all the extra weight off. So, so that's done, and that leads us to our next jaunt, our next jump. What that's going to be is we are heading, and I can't do it from in here, but I want to show you guys where we're going, and to do that I have to go to the tracking station, because I should be able to, yes, okay. We are going to go out, way out. And I see Drez there, and I'm like, I want to land on Drez so bad, but that's not what we're doing this time. We are going to Jool. Yeah, we're going to go to Jool, and we're not just going to Jool itself. As a heads up, I did do a whole video on crashing a probe into Jool. It was actually pretty entertaining, and for some reason I lost all of the ending of the video. So it has me going really close, like 2,000 meters from the surface. And then I'm like, hey, I'll see you guys when I get closer, and the video was gone. I don't know what happened to it. I think I may have failed to record it. So unfortunately that whole process, though fun and entertaining, was a flop. So we're going to skip crashing into Jool, and instead we're going to go to Laythe. We are going to Laythe, and the reason we're going to Laythe is because Laythe has an atmosphere, and I want to land on Laythe and find out what kind of atmosphere. And if you notice, Laythe is 90% water. Or, you know, 89, well, the Earth is like 70-some-odd%. The Kerbin's probably roughly the same. So this is like almost 100% water. There's very little places to put a lander of any kind. This is actually going to be very tough to land on. Are those poles? Yeah, it's even got polar. Like, it's got ice on the poles. It's like very Kerbin-like. And I'm very curious to know what Laythe is like. And so we're going to take a probe to Laythe. And of course, there are other moons like Val and so on, but they're all rocks. I mean, yeah, great, Val's a rock. That's nice. There's tons of rocks out here. Rocks are pointless and useless, and I'm not a huge fan of rocks. I, however, am a huge fan of atmospheric planets. See, Bop is really tiny. So yeah, we are going to be landing on Laythe. We're going to see if there's any life on Laythe. We're going to Laythe. I can't even talk, but yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm just checking out the other planets right now. So Tylo, very similar to Calypso from Jupiter, which is actually one of my favorite moons of Jupiter, mostly because it's so banged up. You're like, what the hell happened? And then Pole is also a rock. So yeah, they're all rocks, and it's kind of like candy, but not good candy. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to try our very best to land on Laythe, and to do that, first we're going to try to land a probe on Laythe. And with that, let's get back and let's go inside and let's start to build ourselves a probe. Alright, so for this probe, we're going to use Jebhead. We're going to use the red Jebhead. I very rarely use red Jebhead because he's designed to work with these, and they like go all the way around his body. On the little plate thing, I think the plate thing's in here too, or it's under bodies. Somewhere around in here. Structure maybe? Nope. Well, they may have moved it, but basically that sits on top of a round plate, and then those little thrusters go around the round plate. And I guess that's good for, like, it very much looks like a probe, but you can't really attach it to anything. I mean, once you put the plate down, that's it. The plate doesn't attach to anything, so that is your probe. I'm not sure what they thought they were doing when they designed it that way, but they did. But because of that, we are going to go ahead and build ourselves a jet probe. And that is not going to be our jet probe. They changed the fuel tanks around a lot. Oh, you know what? We have a fuel tank here that might work. Hey, what do you think? Jeb gets his own little... This thing has like 10 liquid fuel and 12 oxidizer. not very good, I'm afraid. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to mount Jeb up on something. Because he's our head. He's the guy who does our thing. So we have to figure that out. We also have to land him in an atmosphere, so we will be using parachutes. And this is gonna be tough. So yeah, I'm gonna like scramble together. No, I want to keep you guys with me. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here's the Jeb pod. So yeah, the Jeb pod goes on here. It's really difficult to get it to work, but it like goes on here, and then the thruster is like attached to it. And it looks really cool if you can get it to work. But like I said, Jeb doesn't actually attach to anything, so you know it's kind of pointless. Alrighty, so first off, we need something. Something. I'm looking. Yeah, no. Those are the 3-meter fuel tanks. No. This fuel tank works. I mean, 5.73. Oh, wait. Does that have less than this? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, this actually has more fuel than that tank, so that kind of works. Too bad it's actually connected to the bottom node, because that would be funny. But, you know, maybe we'll give Jeb a life ring. That's what we'll do. We'll give Jeb a life ring and be like, here's your life ring, Jeb. Under that, we want what? We don't want a pod of any kind. We do want a thruster of some kind. Let's see, this is a thruster of 220. Too big. 50, which is better in size, but we'll probably burn that fuel out in like less than a second. We really just want something that'll slow us down if we need it. We don't really need it, but there's that. It's hard to, like I said, it's hard to design around round mech Jeb's head. I usually use square mech Jeb's head and everything's okay. But no. I just want to use the mech Jeb probe because it works, you know, it puts mech Jeb on there and it gets us where we need to be. But I don't think round mech Jeb's gonna do it for us right now, unfortunately. As much as I really like to use him, we may have to go with Yellow Eyes. Yeah, Yellow-Eyed mech Jeb, because he's got a better base and he's much easier to cope with, and plus you can use bigger engines. Cheap, I know. Dirty, I know. I'm sorry. It's just, I really wish I could use the other one, but this will have to do. This will have to do. This will be our landing Jeb. And so, for Jeb to land, Jeb needs... What does Jeb need? I was going to use solar panels, but he's going very far from the sun. Very, very far from the sun. So mech Jeb's not going to use solar panels. Jeb's going to use the heat, the thermal generators is what he's going to be using. And he will need a battery. Jeb will need a battery. That will help. I don't know. Do you need a battery and thermals? Not really, but like I said, he's going to be very, very far away from the sun. There's going to be Jool eclipses and other things, so thermal's probably better than the other thing. He doesn't need lander, or he doesn't need the legs, but he does need these legs. So he needs landing legs. I don't even know if those extend. I think they do, but I don't know what the gravity is like on Laythe. So probably go with something classic like this. Do 4 just in case. Nice 4-pronged lander. And we're uneven. And yes, that's important for me. I'm sorry, I know. Symmetry, people. Symmetry. Alright. So, I guess that's Jeb for now. Oh, wait, no. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Can't have Jeb without instruments and things. Instruments are important, Jeb. That's mostly for show, but it's fun. Temperature gauge, so we know how hot it is. We only need one of those. So we put a temperature gauge on there. And we'll just put all the instruments on this side. We'll put the gravioli detector like right here. Those make them all uneven. And I know it's like, oh my god, what happened to symmetry? This is actually better because you would have like all of the instruments on one side, wouldn't you? I mean, I would. That'd be what I'd do. Which is what I am doing. So there you go. Alright, so, you know, we have 4 little antennae. We have our detectors and nodes and whatnot. Is that all of them? That's one. Yeah, one of each, okay. So we're good to go. I could put this big-ass antenna on here, but that's kind of pointless at this point. I mean, pretty, but now it just looks like he's growing stuff, and that's no good. So, that's going to be Jeb. That's going to be our Jeb probe to go to Laythe. Yay! And now we need to get it up there. And that's going to take... oh, you know what? Again. I'm thinking and I'm not thinking. You know what we need? Everybody raise your hand. Yep, you in the corner. You said it. You say it. Go ahead, put it in the comments. You need parachutes, stupid. Yup. Forgot my chutes. So we're gonna change this up a little bit. I know, I had it all unsymmetrical and it looks so pretty and weird, but we're gonna put 2 on each side. And then we're going to put radial chutes, because we need radial chutes, big radial chutes. But we're gonna put 2 big radial chutes right here. Bam. Oop, uneven again. There you go. There you go. 2 gigantic radial parachutes, perfect for Laythe. That's right. So there, okay, this is our jet probe. Very chunky thing, sticky outy parachute. I mean, we're at 3 tons, so it's not too terrible, I think. But I have to build a rocket under this, so you guys really don't need to see me do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut here. And then I'm going to show you the rocket that I build, because I've been neglecting to do that, and I really need to show you guys what the rocket looks like, because you're like, how did you get to Jool without, you know, blowing up? And I'm like, well, that's how I got to Jool. So I'm going to show you the rocket, and we'll see how it works. Oh, and we do need to name it. I'm all backwards. Well, I called my Jool probe the Jool shooter, because I was just going to smash it into Jool, but this one's actually going to land on Laythe and check it out. So we're going to call it the Layther, because that's funny. It is, shut up. And I'll see you guys back when I get a rocket under this little guy. Okay, everybody, here is the Layther 1, or we'll just call it the Layther for now. I'm hoping that this whole staging thing will work, because I got like a ton of stages and a ton of parts and so on and so forth. I mean, look at all these stages over here that Jib's having to calculate. But I was requested at one point, and I did this for the Jool shooter, and it worked really well, but I was requested to do a interplanetary flight, or a long-distance flight, using a nuclear rocket. And so right in here, in this little case, is a nuclear rocket, and like I said, it worked really well before, same design. So the only thing I've added are these for forcing an orbital maneuver, or, you know, helping me get into orbit, because once these tanks are dead, and I don't know how long it's going to be before they die, these will hopefully get me into orbit around Kerbal, and then from there the nuclear rocket can take me out to Jool, I hope. So with that, we're going to take the Layther, and we're going to get out there on the launch pad, and we're going to see what happens. So I'll see you guys out there. Okay, everybody, here we are out on the launch pad. Not a great start for the Layther, unfortunately. I had a minor crash issue, but hopefully that will be our one bug for the moment. And then from here, we'll figure out the rest. So here we go, trying to get into orbit and hoping all of my stages are set correctly. And I don't... Nope, I didn't. I tried to remember like 3 times to put SAS and RCS on here, and I forgot all 3 times. So I am running solely on the thrust vectoring of my engines right now. So hopefully that's enough. It might not be, I don't know, we'll have to find out. We're not gaining much speed, but we're not losing much fuel, so kind of a bonus there for both sides. Alright, I'm going to start the tilt over now, because there's really no reason not to. And at this point, I am going to have to do this really quick before we roll too far over. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on? What's going on? Why did we just flip over? I know what I'm doing is crazy, but it's better to go with the roll than against it. Okay, so we had a flip there. Sorry we didn't get to see it in person. But I didn't really have time to do that and control the flip. So that was really bad, really weird. This does not have the thrust required to do what we want. And unfortunately that flip and everything else really kind of screwed us up when it came to our height and everything. So, well, we do still have those big 4 engines there, don't we? We do, and those might work for what we need. 3, 2, 1, and away we go. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, no thrust vectoring technology. So we're going to have to kind of best guess this one when it comes to our angle. Alright, 60. 60 is good. 70 might be a little high. I'm trying to get to 100. Okay. Now we should be able to kind of roll it sideways like this and force our orbit to kind of coast. I hope. Where are we? Oh my god, what did we just do? 290 by 40. 40 is too low, but the 290 is nice. Alright, I'm going to try to get rid of all of this. Alright, and then I'm going to slow this engine down. And that was really weird, that we were able to somehow get that to work like that. Okay, this periapsis is at 38,000 feet. That's not going to work for us, but we should be able to do a burn. Oh, wow, 313,000. That's not bad. We shouldn't be too close to our... Okay, that won't be anywhere near us. That's a good sign. From here, let's just go ahead and extend this orbit out a little bit, maybe to the same height, around 300,000. Like that. It's a 183 second burn, not bad. Okay, guys, so that was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, everybody? It worked, not the way I meant it to, but I've always wanted to try to do that, to try to force burn sideways. Apparently you can. Not the brightest idea, I suppose. But, you know, we have 6,000 meters per second of fuel left in this big old rocket, right? That should be enough. And Jeb's like, what have you done to me? Why couldn't you bring a Kerbal up here? I'm going to stare at you until I go... Hey, where are you going? Come back! Ah! Yeah. Shut up, Jeb. Okay, everybody, I spun up the clock a little bit to get Jool in a slightly better position. The phase angle's still not perfect, but I was able to actually get us close via 69 billion meter apoapsis from the sun, but that will loop us around and get us close to Jool by about 159 million meters, which I don't know how far Laythe is away. I didn't bother to check what the distance Laythe was, but as long as we're close to Jool, or at least when we're out here, we can adjust accordingly. So for now, this is going to be how we get around. It's going to take us a long time to burn that much, so I'm not going to bore you guys with the whole burn part. I will actually get back to you when we get around to being much, much closer to Jool. So I'll see you guys there. Okay, everybody, welcome back. I've just been captured by Jool, which is great. Downside is our orbit is gigantic, and I'm not exactly sure where Jool is. I got grabbed and my camera flipped, and I lost it again. It's over here somewhere, I'm pretty sure, but I'm going to have to get closer to it. Now, I was going to do a periapsis burn here, but I don't know how close... See, I don't know how close Laythe is, and I'm down to 2590 meters per second of fuel. So I'm thinking, I think I'm going to cut here, and then I'm going to pray that I can lock on to Laythe as a target and see if I can actually manage to get into Laythe from here. So I will see you guys back when something important has happened. Alright guys, I was able to do some finagling, and somehow I got super lucky, and I can actually burn down my speed and get flung right at Laythe, which is awesome. At about 1 million meters. Now, I don't know if I'll have enough fuel to do that and get into a stable orbit and then land, but it's close, so I'm going to give it a shot. So I will see you guys when I get much closer to Laythe, because this burn is going to take a long time. Alright everybody, what you're seeing here is the weirdest orbit I have ever created. Somehow I was able to very quickly get into a Laythe periapsis of only 73,000 meters. It's jumpy, it's very jumpy right now. I could, you know, it's 60, 50, 70, it's really hard to tell what it's actually going to be. You know, so I'm hoping that I'm close enough to where I can hit Atmo at the same time. If not, we're going to have a big problem because I'm almost out of fuel. So we just kind of have to see, I guess, because I'm hoping that its atmosphere isn't much higher than Kerbal's. Nope, that went up. That's not where I wanted to go. So yeah, now I'm screwing it up, but basically I'm going to be very, 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 very close, and hopefully when we get that close, I can create a maneuver or something, which will push us directly into Laythe. So let's go ahead and take a look outside the window. Outside the window... Really? I'm still that far away. I'm still so far away I can't even see Jool. Because I'm basically pointed right... Oh, there it is. That big green dot there, and that. So that's what I've been aiming for this whole time. So let's get in there. Let's go see what's happening in Jool. Oh, there are all the moons again, rotating around. Hey, well, I say again because I've seen them. I was here with, remember, I was here with the Jool shooter. But so not again for you guys. There it is for the first time, for the second time, I guess. And I don't want to overshoot, but even at 1,000, you know, 100,000, which is the maximum, I'm still not coming in that fast. So oh, there we go. Slow everything down, slow the moons down, slow life down. Almost been 2 years out here with this pro, 513 days. So super hardcore. Laythe is just going about its business over and over again. And now that I think about it, with this low orbit, I'm not sure if I'm even going to hit land or if I'm going to hit water. Oh boy, it's so fun to try to find out, isn't it? And it's too late now. We've quick saved one too many times to say, well, let's back out and do it again. So, alright everybody, I decided to try to go for the orbital burn. And so I am getting closer now to that point. We may hit water, but I'm hoping the atmosphere will be thick enough to where it'll slow us down, that even if we hit liquid land, I will be able to take some readings. Because that's really what I want to do, is I want to take readings, and it doesn't have to be a perfect landing until we get some Kerbals here. And we are bringing Kerbals here one day soon, I hope. So, but probe first. Always probe first just in case. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. And I'm now officially out of fuel. God, I wish I could see down there. Well, who knows? I may hit like 2 inches off the water, and that's because I don't know how fast Laythe rotates. But that's just gonna have to be the way it goes, because according to this, we are gonna hit a landmass, and we may even miss the landmass completely because of the rotation. I was really hoping, but while we're doing this, let's go ahead and turn on our instruments. That's not our instruments. That's okay though. That's our instruments. What do we got? We got 6.25 meters per second on the gravity detector. It is temperature, please. Temperature. Negative 139 degrees, slowly going up because I'm crashing into a planet. Barometric pressure says I'm still in a vacuum, and something about that I can't. Oh crap! There's no land here. You lied to me, Laythe. You said there was a landmass here. Oh, okay, maybe this is a landmass I'm going for. Wow, that's a lot bigger. It's like there is no atmosphere, or there is atmosphere, but it's super duper thin. This may end up being a bad sign to begin with. I don't even know. But we may be able to do some fun maneuvering too. Let's find out. Let's gear down for fun, because if this, I keep losing. There we go. Okay, if I can do this, if I'm heading where I think I'm heading, I'm not. I'm gonna short it, and aren't I? And imminent I. Oh, that's such a terrible waste. Such a terrible place to land. I don't want to throw my parachutes out just yet, but I should. Okay, the atmosphere is thicker now, but I can't take time to check my instruments. If I throw these out, I'm a dead man, but if I don't, I may still be a dead man. Oh, I'm a dead man. Parachutes out, I'm afraid. So we are going to hit water, not land, as I had originally hoped. But hey, while we're crashing to the planet's surface, let's take a look. Barometric pressure says 0.28, so the pressure value is very low. My speedometer here is 0.99 Gs. 0.9, so it's almost 1 gravity. That's cool. Temperature is negative 18, so 19 degrees below freezing ain't that bad, right? Gravity is 7.78 meters a second. Well, that's gravioli detector. That's gravitational field detector. That has nothing to do with this. Well, that's my accelerometer. So yeah, 9.92 Gs. So the pressure is almost 1 atmosphere, but just under 1 atmosphere. Oh, that's nice. So we can get a little bit more time on our readings. So yeah, it looks like 0.8 G's gravity. This is 0.7 barometric. So it's close, very, very close to Kerbal style. I don't know, that would probably maybe make this water. Maybe make it water? I don't know. I think it'd be frozen at this temperature though, because what's the temperature? Unless it's like a super lake of salt water. Ooh, that'd be awesome. Temperature is oxidized fuel. Temperature is 2 degrees. So 2 degrees above Kelvin, I guess? 2 degrees above Kerbal. Hey, look, a moon! So yeah, this is like a mimic... Jeb's... Look at Mech Jeb, he's like, I know what's going to happen. Why did you do this to me? Go ahead and put your gears down, Jeb, you're not going to need them. So yeah, this is a great candidate to bring a Kerbal to, just to see what happens, and that's difficult. Difficult. And Jool is like over that way somewhere, I think. Oh, that'd be so cool to see in orbit. I can't right now because we're on the wrong side of the planet, but that will be something that will be absolutely awesome to see. But for now, I would like to thank you all for joining me, 4KB Shorts, and the Laythe, or Layther, MechJeb on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program. And I will see you next... Wait, we survived? Wait, soft landing and we survived? That is totally awesome! Totally awesome. I don't know what's the point, but we have a lander-ish. We have a probe on Laythe. That's totally awesome. That's even more awesome than that. So yeah, so barometric pressure at sea level is 0.8, so a little bit less than 1 atmosphere, so very thin atmosphere. 7.85 meters a second of gravity, and if I can roll the thing over, hey, look at that! Temperature is at 4.67, and of course our accelerometer says it's 0.8 G, so awesome! MechJeb is not so angry now. He's like, yeah, I get to swim. Yeah, he still looks a little pissed at me. Anyway, so once again, I would like to thank you all very much for joining me, 4KB Short, and MechJeb on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program. And I will see you next video, and we see if we can actually get a real ship down here on one of these big islands. Yeah, nice.